you guys progress too fast. There's no way you can keep up. You tend to outgrow your teacher very quickly. At the rate you go, probably in a few months you outgrow me. That kind of thing.
I don't think so, man.
Okay, there's no need to stand up. This is an afternoon lecture. There's no need. Okay. Okay, now.
We gotta put the
for
yeah, make room for the people who need to sit on top. But otherwise, it's better to sit on the floor where it hurts a lot more.
Sandwich place every night, 2 for 1, 3 for 2. That's pretty good. Oh, yeah.
Can I bow first, Master?
Yeah.
You used to have the stand.
Yeah? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you used to have the stand.
You see my room. Thank you. Oh, what's in there? I have no room here.
Do you want me to circumambulate?
With the symbol. Bruce, it's right underneath the table. There's some cover and music stands. Never mind. Can't find it.
Once or 3 times?
3.
Go ahead and turn it off here. 35 and.
Will the sun come
with great virtue out of compassion for the sake of this assembly and all living beings? Please turn the wonderful Dharma wheel to teach us how to leave suffering attain bliss and birth and death, and quickly realize non-birth.
How much the blessed, noble, and perfectly enlightened? Namo Sadhu Sujero Ari Samya Sampotosye. Namo Tathagata Toya Yaga Arahade Dami Dhammo Datoa.
Namo Tathagata
The unsurpassed,
deep, profound, subtle, wonderful Dharma in 100,000 million eons is difficult to encounter. Now that I come to receive and hold it within my sight and hearing, I vow to fathom the thus come one's true and actual meaning.
All Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, Great Master Shen Hua, all good and advisors, and so forth. Welcome to our new location for the Medicine Master Sutra lecture. Are we online?
Yes, two.
Two and
Jack and Phil.
Jack and Phil. Okay. Welcome. Okay. We are on slide 39 on this Medicine Master Sutra. We were talking about the 6 requirements that put a seal that certifies that this is the Dharma that's proper. This is Mahayana Dharma seal. Okay. So the one requirement we have is the time. When you have all these 6 requirements, then the sutra is considered to be the Mahayana text. This is a proper teaching from the Buddha. So the 6 requirements are quickly. Number 1, I'm on slide number 35, faith. The first requirement is faith. Number 2 is hearing. Number 3 is time. Number 4 is speaker. Number 5 is place. Number 6 is audience. We talked about faith already and the hearing. Now we on number 3. Okay. It's funny how you have to realize that in order to really understand Mahayana, you have to start with first faith. You can find this theme throughout all Mahayana teachings. Without faith, you cannot possibly comprehend the Buddha's teaching. Okay, and number 2, the hearing is because this is a sage. Venerable Ananda is the sage who heard himself. He's a bodhisattva. Actually, he manifests himself as a arhat. When the Buddha was alive, he was only a first and second stage arhat. But actually, deep down, he's truly a bodhisattva and manifesting as an arhat. Okay, and as an arhat, he heard all these teaching from the Buddha. So himself, an enlightened being, heard the teaching himself. Okay. Time, number 3, time. I'm back on slide number 39. Time. Time refers to the fact that when the Buddha speaks Dharma, okay, this is a time for the Buddha to speak Dharma. And therefore, that time is when he finds it's most appropriate to speak Dharma, most appropriate to relay, to convey the teaching, that particular teaching at that time. Okay. usually academically speaking, intellectually speaking, people want some kind of fixed, some kind of definite time, but actually in Mahayana, it's usually at one time because it refers to the fact that it's that appropriate time. Only the Buddha knows. We have no business defining whether it's 8 a.m. or 9 p.m. and so on. It's irrelevant. The Buddha says, at very time when I speak Dharma, that's the best time. That's that time for that Dharma. Okay? So for us, it's unfixed. Actually, for the Buddhas, it's at the very, when it should be. Okay? And also, different time zones. We have Western calendars or lunar calendars. Or if you listen to the Earth Score Sutra, it's spoken in the heavens, in the highest Tinsha heaven. Or when you listen to the Avatamsaka Sutra, it's spoken in different places. Sometimes the Buddha goes to the heavens. Okay, sometimes he speaks down here, and so on. So when is time we can have, we can trust that the Buddha will speak the Dharma for our benefit. Okay, that's ideal for us to understand it. The speaker, the Bhagavan is the, I'm skipping Vietnamese today. You don't realize how funny it is because today Danny is not here because his sister is getting married, so there's a happy day for them today. So he's supposed to come and pick up the Vietnamese nun at the temple that he does every Saturday. Okay. So I said no, so he offered to go and pick her up this Saturday morning and then we can drop her off in the afternoon. I said no. Why don't I go and pick her up? It doesn't matter to me. So I could go and pick her up. So I was planning going to pick her up, and then she called up, called Danny up, and she said she won't be available. In fact, it's funny because I will let you in on this little secret. I've been testing her for some time now. Okay, and I said basically, if you may remember, like 2 months ago when she first came to us. She was very frustrated because she didn't like it in roast meat. She declared that she was vegan. And she's fat. She was there for 7 months. And she couldn't take it anymore. You know, we let people text them. We're very carefree. If we like it, we stay. If we don't like it, we move on. Because there's plenty of temple. Trust me. So we're very carefree kind of lifestyle, and especially once you become fully ordained, like myself, then you can go anywhere at all. Okay, and that's so, which makes it very difficult to retain leftfold people because they're very temperamental. They don't like it. You never know. Okay, now you may say something that might offend them, really, apparently. So anyway, so I talked to her and I basically told her resolve her problem. Some of you may give a word out. You email me things and I give you a solution to your problems. And then so she decided to stay, and then she's been progressing very nicely. And I said, I was planning on talking to her about the Sien Dharma, the level Dharma I have today. Actually, since we have a lot of time commuting back and forth today. And guess what? She's not here. Obstruction source. It's very difficult. As soon as you are allowed to move on or being exposed to the new level of Dharma, you have all kinds of obstructions. All kinds. I can tell you that. Every step of the way, folks, is obstructions in cultivation. Every step of the way. Okay. So we were making fun of you this morning, by the way. He said you memorized the Shrama mantra text, which is the feet. It's a very, very important mantra in Buddhism. And for a person to have memorized it, to be able to memorize it, is super roots. Okay? As a left-home person, I must memorize it. Otherwise, I don't deserve to be a fully non-ego. It's that important. Because without it, the world will go berserk. The whole world will go haywire. As long as one person can memorize and recite this mantra, all the demons and the ghosts and externals will behave, will have to behave. In that contains all the dharmas that can control and keep all the demons and externals in check. It's that powerful. This is the most powerful dharma in Mahayana. It's the Shrama mantra. Even Venerable Shenhua did not transmit the dharma to us, by the way, because it's so powerful that you could misuse it, abuse it. Okay, so he transmitted a lot of tantric dharmas to us, to our generation, to the Go generation, my generation, and Randy and Brian's generation. But he, as far as I know, at least from the people who taught me the Go Dharma as they know it, because when I joined the association, he left before I could learn anything. So I had to learn the Dharma from his Go disciple. So one would teach me this, another would teach me something else. And from what I know from them, they were not transmitted the Shranga mantra Dharma. Okay, it's even more powerful than the Dharma will be transmitted, and yet we don't know. That tells you that even us do not even have enough good roots to be exposed to be transmitted the special Dharma, cultivation Dharma from the Shrama mantra. The special Dharma is not documented. Only the patriarchs know. For example, even the one yin tantric dharmas will be translated, like the hands and eye dharma, okay, which is a earth-shattering dharma. It can control all the demons and the heavenly demons as well as the externals. Even that dharma is not as powerful as Shranga mantra dharma. So we don't have it. So anyway, to be exposed to these dharma, okay, means that you have to overcome a lot of obstructions, many obstructions, folks. So it's not that easy. I was saying earlier this morning that every time you reach a new level, you have new wave of obstructions coming, folks. They do not stop. Okay? So it's no time to rest in your laurels. They come with great fury, unseasoned. Okay? So, anyway, the speaker, Bhagavan is Sanskrit that has a few meanings. It has comfortable or self-mastery, has no affliction. Okay. The translation is sometimes a little bit older translation, so they don't use proper terminology nowadays as compared to what we have today. But comfortable, meaning that refers to the fact that this being here has no afflictions. Okay, even though things are not the way they should be, things are not the way as expected, he has no affliction whatsoever. Renowned because of the perfection of the merit and virtues. Okay, cultivation is Mahayana cultivation involves the perfection of merit and virtues. Okay. And because he perfected all that, he has all knowing, all knowledge. Is nothing in this and not known. Okay. You ask him a question, hoping for an answer, he has an answer for your problem. Okay? Including your sicknesses. Okay? You're sick because you're dying. And he came to our world to help us resolve that problem. Okay? There's nothing in Mahayana, there's nothing that the Buddha cannot fix. Nothing. I don't know the Buddha state. I can tell you my master state. I can't think of anything, any disease that Master Srinivas cannot cure himself. He is no Buddha. Nothing. Nothing he can cure. You read Master Srinivas' teachings and texts, you keep on hearing the fact that people are sick with this and that, and then they come, Master Srinivas, hit him or tap him on the shoulder or rub his head, and they heal. Just nothing. In his younger days. So you should have met him, then he says, shh. Right. Yeah. But we never have this kind of blessings. So we never didn't have the blessings to meet him when he was alive or when he was younger. When he got older though, he changed his ways. He got older, he didn't do that anymore as often. Before, when his younger days, he created a lot of affinities with people and made a big name for himself because he has tremendous healing power. Because Mahayana, like through this medicine Master Buddha Dharma here, there isn't a thing that it cannot be healed. It's that powerful. Yeah. And Master Srinivas, when he was younger, he was healing people left and right. Okay. And when he got older, then he stopped doing that. And he started teaching people how to heal themselves. All right. So that's what I picked up from him. I understood from his message is that if you heal people, then they take it for granted. He said, is that easy, huh? All I have to do is go and kiss up to him and he heals me, and I go back and to my old ways, and keep on doing the things I did wrong. So they don't change. Right? See, the thing in Mahayana, when you give, you're supposed to speak Dharma. You know that? See, when people come to me and say, I meet people out there on the street and they say, we have some change. I don't give change unless I can speak Dharma to them. So I don't give change because no one wants to listen. Okay? So, the same thing. I'm suggesting to you that you need to learn to give Dharma when you give people things. Because otherwise, to give is for them to change their ways and to stop making mistakes. Because if not, all you're doing, you're encouraging them to commit offenses. Okay? So it doesn't help to me at all. It's a waste of blessings. Okay. So later on in his life, Master Srinivas stopped healing people like that. He basically said, I stopped meddling. I don't meddle anymore. Even my own family members, he also saved their lives and stuff like that. Okay. He never saved my life. I don't know why. He's singing me out to give me a harsh treatment. Maybe because I'm a bad boy. But later on in his life, he started to teach people how to heal themselves. And that's the approach I like, because it's better that people learn how to heal themselves than they are resolving their own problems, and they are making progress. So that's my attitude. I'm helping, I'm teaching you. If you're interested, I can teach you Dharma to help heal yourself. Okay. Okay. So number 3 in Bhagavan, we are slide 40. Adorned. Okay. When you cultivate the proper Dharma, you become adorned. Does it ring a bell? Meaning that I can give you an example. When you cultivate the proper Dharma, when you cultivate blessings, merit, virtues, and blessings and wisdom, your facial features reflect that. Okay? So, for example, a monk at YRBA, very well-known monk, I don't want to use his name. You look at his face, it's like a triangle, like this. Okay? Like a triangle like that. Okay? That means that he tends to be more on the intellectual side. Okay, the brain side. Okay. So the approach is not balanced because your facial features reflects your makeup, your habit energies. Okay, the ahats, you look at the face of an ahat, like mouth, that's your face. You tend to be intellectual, so you're bigger on top and lower at the bottom. Okay. And that means you tend to be also like a smart aleck type of coach. He's old enough, so he's old enough to be my father, so it's okay to make fun of him. Okay, so it shows in the facially speaking, it shows your tendencies. The Buddha, when you become a Buddha, okay, you are adorned with 32 hallmarks of a great man. Okay, that considered to be the perfect features anyone can have. So the Buddha has it. Venerable Ananda has it. The great Bodhisattvas have it. Okay? So this, because it's based on proper practices, proper principles. Okay? Non-medium, not medium ones. So far so good? It shows, folks, even in us in our profession, before you leave the home life, the master usually takes a look at you and say, look at your facial features, basically. And say, okay, he looks good. Let's make him a monk right now. Okay. That's how it works. And last week, a lady who came to our lecture, Earth Sutra lecture, for the second time, in 2 months, she came to me after the lecture. She asked me, not that I'm considering doing it myself, but what do you think about plastic surgery? I said, not to answer you directly, I don't think it's any good. And I said, I tell you why. See this mole here in my face? This is a tendency for me to be a glutton. Okay, this is my makeup. Okay, food is my weakness. Can you imagine? Wouldn't it be nicer for me to go to plastic surgery and then remove it? It doesn't cost that much. And I won't be, I won't have to worry about my gluttony anymore. But then I said, but the problem with that is that once I remove it, then, you know what happens? Every time that I look at myself in the mirror in the morning and go like this, I don't see it anymore. So I don't have to work on it anymore.
Cheesy.
See, people see this as a problem. I see it as an opportunity to fix my problem. Okay? Anyway, all these are reflections of our habit energies, our flaws, our weaknesses. Okay? Resplendent. When you have wisdom, number 4, when you have wisdom, your wisdom light shines. That's why he's resplendent. You know that? Not only the wisdom light, but actually when we talk about wisdom light, you actually are helping others clear their heads. You know that? When you hear someone who has Kung Fu, who has wisdom, you feel better about yourself. You can see clearer. You know, I don't mean to boast about myself, but it's funny how Danny came to help me install the printers, the desktop. We have a desktop that broke last year, and then finally Danny offered to come and fix it. So he got a new hard drive and so on. So he came here to install the network printer and so on. And then he said, it's funny. I don't know about you new guys. He had to go to my room, the first door on the right. And then there's a desktop right behind me, behind the chimney here, the fireplace here. And he said, it's funny how your house, this place here, is so calm, so nice. I like being here. But your room is better than outside. I said, oh really? Really? So I said, wait a minute. I've been living here for several years now. How come I don't even know that? and I thought, come to think of it, you're right. I like my room better than the outside. So I said, you know what? He said, what? Tell me. What's the recipe? What's the formula and bottle and make money off it? I said, because in my room I have Buddha statues. Even behind the closets. I shut the doors so that doesn't bother my brother and his guests. See, Buddhist things. But behind my closets, behind the doors, are the statues. Okay. These statues are very special. They when you draw near these beings, the wisdom light shines on and it helps you. Not only that, but Danny said that you came to my house. My house is kind of messy. It's a mess. It's like a marketplace. But when I'm near you, I can concentrate better and my head is clear. He said, no, you brought me near the Buddha statue, not me. Okay. So actually, when you have Kung Fu, the people who come near you, they benefit from your splendor, your wisdom light, folks. Okay? All of you. That's why I'm very proud of the fact that even though I'm teaching you how to be low-key, but wherever you go, you actually are helping a lot of people calm them down. You know that? People are much calmer around them. Isn't that a fact? Yes or no?
Yes.
Well, like Linda, people get excited when they're around her, but that's different.
Can I share with you what happened to me on Thursday?
Okay, yeah, sure. Share with us.
Talk about chaos. Father Ford had to have laser surgery on one of his eyes, so I took him to St. Mary's Hospital for the surgery.
Yeah.
And I was left out in the waiting room.
Mm-hmm.
The waiting room was more people in it than that are in this room right now.
Mm-hmm.
Every single person in that room was on a cell phone except me.
Mm-hmm.
It was the most chaotic room I had ever been in.
Yeah.
Ever that I can remember.
Mm-hmm. So?
I didn't call anybody. And I'm sitting there reading Guan Yin's sound book.
Yeah.
And I'm listening to all of this sound, external sound that's going on around me. Very disturbing.
Yes.
Very disturbing.
Were you disturbed?
Yes.
Okay, that's what you should have not allowed to happen.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, because you made it worse for them. The opposite works. This also applies, because when you're not calm, you're exciting others.
If they weren't calling someone, someone was calling them. The phones were ringing, the people were...
But if you calm yourself down, they eventually calm down.
Well, if you can't, you get out of there.
I felt like I was in a telemarketer's...
You don't have to. At her level, she doesn't have to. She can be calm anywhere. It's just that she allows the externals to affect her. Therefore, she's affecting the externals as well. She's fueling the
To the
chaos.
fire.
Yes.
What could I have done?
Just calm down.
Oh, I needed to calm down.
You needed to calm down. And
Ignore
then
them.
people would naturally calm down with you. You walk into the room right now, you're excited, the whole room gets excited. You calm down, the whole room gets calmed down. Excuse me. I'll give you an example. Some time ago, I didn't realize it, okay, because years ago, I was cultivating before I started teaching, okay, and I didn't know what I was doing, so I tend to impose myself on a lot of people. So that's my confession, okay? Don't hold it against me too much. Anyway, so once we were driving, my brother and myself were driving that white van from here to the city of 10,000 Buddhas. Okay? Now, before I was a recluse, I was a hermit. I never bothered contacting people. I never cared to talk to people. I go to the supermarket, buy something, I heard that. I don't talk to people. I was very gruff and antisocial. And when we got started, this is to attend the Rinpoche Noah's anniversary celebration. I used to go to see 10,000 Buddhas to show my support for them. And so as we were driving, okay, before we drove that one day at one time, I was feeling pretty good. I was feeling very calm. So I before we left, I was in a very calm state of mind. So on the trip, we were driving. We took Freeway 5 and got the desert. Okay. And for about 3 hours, we drove. The vehicle drove 3 or 4 hours. First 3 or 4 hours. This is around 5 or 6 o'clock at night when we started. Okay, so from 5 to 9 o'clock, 8, 9 o'clock at night. We were driving, we were feeling good, everything so calm and peaceful. And then all of a sudden, Viet said something. He said, it's funny how people are driving so courteously, so slowly. On Freeway 5, usually when I was driving Freeway 5, people would come up, pull up way real close behind you, and go like that. You know what I'm talking about? That's what people do on Freeway 5. He said, does it happen to you? That's what I used to do myself. So I know what. Okay? We know what we're talking about.
Zing!
So Freeway 5 has 2 lanes. So usually I would pull up all the way real close to a guy, right? I'm about to kiss his butt. And then I would change lane and pass him. People used to do that all the time in Freeway 5. None of that for 3 or 4 hours. Not only in my direction, but in opposite direction as well. And I said, oops, I'm sorry. And I said, okay, I let go. And you know what? They started driving like that immediately. I controlled them for a few hours. They didn't realize my power. I didn't realize my power. I controlled the entire route from the city of 10,000 Buddha to this place.
And solely because you were calm.
Yes. I imposed myself, my will on all the drivers.
Well, we can do it that way.
I didn't realize I was doing it. I said, okay,
He forgot
this is where
what
I'm going to go. This is the path I'm going. Okay? And in my state, my calm state of mind, I said, this is my space. Everyone did it. Everyone was so peaceful and drive so happy. Not only were they driving so slowly and with courtesy, but they were so happy. Everyone was so calm and peaceful. Okay? And I could see it that the whole path, because we take 5 and then we go to 580 to 80 to Berkeley and then take 101 and then so on. So the whole path, because we used to do that. So I know the entire path. So the entire path, I control the entire path. Okay? Yes.
Jack has a question, so I'm going to read the question. So when I go out to eat, I sit in full lotus, and I notice a lot of small children and babies stare at me.
Yes.
My friends notice it too. They find it strange. Is that the result of the sitting in lotus practice?
Yes. Okay? Because what happened is that he's calmer than the rest of them. He's the calmest in the restaurant. So what happened, let me tell you what happens. He's drawing all the attention to himself. He becomes a black hole. And children are sensitive to it. Extremely sensitive. The children are immediately drawn to it. Okay? That's what happens. Does it answer the question, Jack? No. Okay. Never mind.
He said, interesting, thank you.
So it's important because when you have Kung Fu, you have to be careful about your state of mind. Okay? It cost me nothing to impose my will on the entire path. What is it? 600-700 miles?
400 miles.
400 miles?
Yeah, 450.
Yeah. Okay? No big deal. Okay? But you don't have to do that.
So I could have made those phones stop ringing.
Yeah. Why are you going to kick them out? We can impose our will. You can allow them to stay. You can evict them. At your level right now, there aren't that many people who can withstand, who can butt heads with you. Okay. That's why you have to be careful. That's why we have to become invisible. We do not want to impose ourselves.
There was one lady there that was in a wheelchair, and she was so agitated that she was a little mental anyway, and she started saying, help, help, out loud.
Yeah.
Because of all the noise level that was in that room. It was just...
Yeah, or I remember going, not only the hospitals are not good places to hang out. I told you that, but you guys didn't pay attention. Yeah. Our courthouses are not good places either.
Yeah, those are two bad ones.
Yeah.
Neither is
But
the
not
jail.
as bad as hospitals. You know, and walks suddenly planning to go to the emergency room. Of all the rooms, it's the worst place.
Mm.
No,
That's what worse than the hospital.
Which one?
When they freshly die, they put them in the morgue.
That's
That's worse. Don't go there. That's really. One time I went by accident. I was in the pharmacy buying some injectable drugs and took the wrong way down. And I got out of the elevator and I said, on the wrong stairs. I went back inside her. I didn't even look around. Just got up.
Same with his name is that.
But you have to realize that it takes time for energies to change. Okay? Because listen, these places have a certain kind of energy. So you go there and you met with them. That's why you're not welcome. Okay?
So they were
We causing trouble for them. So we're fighting with them. That's why you need to respect the boundaries. You can't. In the places like I am not allowed to go to certain places because I cause problems.
Like what? Like bars?
Hmm?
Like bars?
What?
Bars.
Saloons.
Well,
Western bar.
I am not allowed to hang around places that serve beer, that alcohol,
Oh, that's a bar.
or what else. So no, I'm not allowed to go there because it's not it causes problems.
But when you do visit a hospital, if you have to visit a hospital, you just don't hang out. You just do your business and then you leave.
Yeah, I mean, see, just like when you go to a noisy place, the noise is the noise.
Well, it's rude.
Yeah, but the point is that when you have kung fu, the externals cannot affect you. It's you decide to do what to do about the externals, not the other way around.
I thought it was maybe because I was reading the book and using my.
See, you're learning all these things, you're learning how to use these things.
Yeah.
Okay, you're learning all these skills and
And making mistakes.
yeah, and that's how you adjust. Because I sent Danny an email. I said, this is the time to spend with your family, your relatives this weekend. So good time to show your faith, your kindness, and your strength. Because his kung fu is pretty high nowadays. And I say I'm very pleased with your progress because I thought it might take you 2 years. He's been with me like less than a year and a half. How? Now he's becoming a man now. You notice the change in Danny?
Yes.
Huh? Big changes. Anyone notice? Huh? Janice? Big changes. He's a different man now. He's a man now. Before he's a wimp. He's a pushover.
Well, I don't know about
He's
totally.
wishy-washy.
He seems more responsible. He carries himself in a more responsible manner than.
Because he has samadhi power. Now he's in samadhi constantly. So they can't move him anymore. The externals don't move him anymore.
He was always like a little boy.
Yeah, before he wasn't sure. I don't know what to do. Is he for real? Is he trying to take advantage of me? Should I trust him?
He's more wishy-washy before.
Yeah, very wishy-washy.
Like a wash rag.
Couldn't make up his mind.
But he's very
Went
skeptical.
left or right.
Danny used to be so skeptical.
He is.
With everything. Everyone.
Really?
Yeah. Everyone. Because people take advantage of him. Look at him, underestimate him, belittle him. Anyway, he's a different man now. He's a man now. And he said, really? People are still calling me left and right? and I laughed and I said, it takes years before you know how to use all these skills. It takes a long time. Okay? But what you have, the samadhi power is the basis of all these changes. Okay? And eventually you learn how to use it. That's all. Just like people going to the hospital waiting room and get afflicted.
I have a question about that imposing. You shouldn't impose your calmness on other people.
Yeah.
But people request that out of you. So you
No,
just
they don't.
stay. You just stay out.
He's perfectly happy being agitated before he came.
Oh.
Yeah.
Just leave them alone.
Yeah, let them be. Who are you to impose? So basically you're saying that I know to be calm is better. Of course it is. Who asked you? I'm happy being uncalm.
Crazy.
I'm happy being agitated.
Am I more sensitive now than before? Is that why?
To what?
Well, because I mean, it's like I don't ever remember being that way before. I mean, I went to hospital rooms and would see doctors and things like that, and just
Before you were like happy-go-lucky. It doesn't matter as long as people like you, then you're happy. Now you don't give a damn.
No, she still wants them to like her.
Yeah, people like, but if they don't like her as much, it doesn't afflict her as much anymore.
That's true.
Last year, it said, like me, I'm special.
I said that.
Not so many.
Whatever you want to think, Linda.
I did. Oh my. Okay.
He's just like going around looking for approval.
Oh well, I've done that all my life. Oh well.
It's ugly.
But I don't care if you like me. You just approve of me.
Approval is only a mild form of liking. Anyway.
I'm very conscious of offenses. I always have been.
Yeah.
I don't want to offend
You and Josefa, by the way, Josefa is the worst example of that. That's why I looked at you and said, you're not that much different from Josefa. Josefa is the worst. She do anything to get you to like her,
Oh, I gotta stop.
to present her best face forward. It's a sickness. It's a sickness. So you're willing to distort whatever it takes just for that approval, for that liking. So for her it's liking, for yours you approval. So in between approval and liking, you're not that far from liking. And it's a very heavy attachment, which makes it very difficult to cultivate.
Josefa's family got rid of her at a center away to school when she was 15 and never let her come back. You know, she finished the school and got married and stayed out, never went home again.
At 15?
At 15. That would make you a type of person, either you'd be rotten or trying to get approval.
Well, my family, my whole family never liked me. None of them liked me, so they didn't test me out. Doesn't make me.
But now they have a place to send you.
Does that mean that I have to be rude and be...
It's just a natural progression. That's exactly, Linda. That's what your biggest problem was.
Oh, I know that before, yeah.
The biggest problem in your cultivation, biggest obstruction is that because unless you are willing to let go of that, you can't progress to where you are. You can't. You know that. You number 3 in line, my dear. You know that? You number 3. She's the third worst in my assembly. Too smart. Okay? And you put value on people liking you, approving you. Who cares? Your realm, your status, your samadhi power is much higher than any of them who can give you an approval, a stamp of approval. What do you need them for? What for? I don't need your approval. I need your approval. Let me tell you that. Okay, care less. Well, it doesn't hurt.
Yes, that's nice, Master. You said that.
It's very nice.
Yeah, I didn't want to offend you too much. But the point is that you need to reassess the situation. Before you cultivate, your level is the same. So their opinion of you matters. But now you are goddess, you are God. You have to change your reference points. Okay? Getting approval of 10,000, 100,000 adoring kids means nothing. Nothing.
So instead of being too sensitive, I'm getting too hardened? Is that why this room bothers me?
She's still stuck on that.
Well, it did, because I don't recall ever having that kind of an experience before to where it really agitated me.
Well, you're being exposed to the reality. People who live there or work there, that's how they live.
These were just waiting people. This was a waiting.
That's their normal mode. What do you want? Go to New York and you see exactly what I'm talking about. Okay. So that's how people live. It's okay. Number 5, auspicious. Okay. Good things happen. You know why? Why good things happen? Why are Buddhas and Bodhisattvas auspicious? Why? Anyone know?
Because they're virtuous in giving.
Why is it auspicious? Why is it lucky for you? Why does good things happen to you?
You get return your you get back what you give.
No.
Oh, okay.
What?
It didn't sound right.
What? Anyone? Come on. Anyone know? Okay. Why do bad things happen to you? Let me turn the question around.
Karma.
Huh?
Karma.
Karma, okay, what else?
Retribution.
You know why bad things happen to you? Because the yin forces are around you. The troublemakers are surrounding you. You got that? You sick because what? Because you are possessed by sickness ghosts. Agree? You are in contact with these. Okay? They have a stake in your body, part in your body. Okay? Bad things happen to you because of the yin forces. You got that?
So yin is bad things and
Yin are bad things.
okay.
Okay? So, the Buddhas are yang. When yang goes near yin, what happens to the yin forces? They retreat. Okay? When they retreat, what happens? No more bad things. Only good things. Not only that, the yang are attracting the good things to come. That's why when you draw near cultivators, good things happen, folks. Good things happen. That's why it's not that easy for you to encounter, meet with a good noble advisor, with the Bodhisattvas and the Buddhas. Okay, it's not that easy. Number 6, honored. He's honored because he's replete with merit and virtues, and he has plenty of wisdom to devise expedients, skilled means to help others, and he's honored by everyone because he rejects no one. Okay? You're benefiting everyone. Everyone benefits from it, including the demons, including the ghosts, including the sickness demons, including the inauspicious demons, including the troublemakers. Alright? So Bhagavan is not translated from Sanskrit because it has so many meanings, it has multiple meanings. That's why sometimes we have to preserve the Sanskrit terms in Mahayana.
Master, number 2.
Yes.
Nothing he does not know.
Very good. Yeah.
Yeah, word missing.
Nothing. Kind of like it is.
Or it's an Indian.
Or Polish.
German, maybe.
Okay.
It's part of the charm of it.
Next slide, 41. The location. He spoke Dharma, he spoke this particular Dharma in the Vaisali city of extensive adornments. Okay. The name is very, very interesting. City, a large city. Okay. The city is pretty large. And extensive, meaning that they have lots of blessing. They have abundance. They're very wealthy. They have lots of material things. Okay, even are erudite. They have abundance of knowledge as well, intellectual knowledge, and the buildings are numerous and adorned. All right, so that's a particular city, a bigger picture. In particular, he's speaking under the music tree. Okay, music tree is where the birds, the best musical birds in the world, called the Kalabinka bird, sings in the woods. And in particular, this also these birds make terrific music, the best music, make heavenly music actually. And then when the soft wind blows, the tree also makes music. Okay? So that's where he spoke Dharma. Questions?
Visalia, isn't there a Visalia in California?
Yeah.
Really?
Up
It's a
north.
city. Up north, isn't it?
But Vaisali is Spanish, I think. But Vaisali is Sanskrit. Yes,
It's spelled differently. Okay.
Okay, slide 42. He spoke to an assembly of bhikshus. Okay, bhikshus are the Sanskrit bhikshus, the leftful people. Basically, bhikshus carry three meanings: American, frighten the demons, and destroy evil. That's what bhikshus do. First of all, they are Americans. They bake. They bake food to nourish the body. They bake food from you low-level people to nourish the body. Okay? That's low level. It's funny how the nuns this morning tend to look down on the lay people because you are lower class. And so I don't know how you can look down on people when you're baking food from them. That surprises me. Okay. So for some reason, some of them seem to think that the lay people are low class. That we should get order you around that kind of thing.
They did a good job of it.
But on top, above them, they're begging for Dharma from their teachers, from the Buddhas and the Bodhisattvas. Okay? They need Dharma to nourish their wisdom life, their wisdom body. So one is physical body, you need to beg from lay people to nourish the body. Okay? And then they also, on top, they beg from the teachers, the Bodhisattvas and the Buddhas, to nourish the wisdom body, the wisdom life. Okay? And basically, they are begging, these professional beggars is because they are to serve as field of blessings. What does it mean? That they have a lot of blessings. They have tremendous amount of blessings. Okay? Because if they did not have enough blessings, they have then to return to their life. Okay? When the blessings run out, they have to return to their life. That's how they return to their life. That's how leftful people return to their life. They go in there and they practice and they eat good food and live in nice temples and drive Mercedeses and what's good nowadays? Is it Mercedes anymore or
Ferrari.
Ferrari? Oh, yeah, the red Ferrari. Okay. I'm on slide 42. Let me show you the good life. I saw this email here recently, and let me show you the good life you could have. This is as a left-home person. It's too bad Danny is not here today because I was talking to Danny about the left-home person lifestyle.
You should show him when he comes back next week, Master.
Yeah, I showed him privately. That's it.
Friday.
That's it. Okay. Okay. There you go. Okay. Do I download here? Okay, download pictures. Hang on, folks. Let me see you how glorious the left-home person's life could be.
It's gonna be
Just in case some of you might be curious about why we call ourselves Mexicans, okay? Yeah.
Wow.
This is in Taiwan. This is the big shop. Oh, you guys online, too bad. Hey, you guys online, what can we send them the email? I forward you the email. How's that?
I was watching.
Pay attention to that Skype.
Okay, for you online people, the first picture is of a hotshot, a big monk in Taiwan, accompanied by the pageant girls.
Top model.
The top models in short skirts and tight tops. Okay. And the guy here is pretty young. The monk is pretty young. The red robe monk is pretty young. Okay. Hang on. Okay. And then you have a closer picture. See, he one man among all beauties, the pageant beauties. Okay. Phil and Jack, we'll get email them the.
So Jack is asking next week he's going to Taiwan. So please tell him where he should go.
Look at these gorgeous women, and he's the only guy there. Look at that. How good life could be, huh? Hey, Texas, did you ever know that it could be this good?
No, I had no idea.
No, in real life, Texas is a celebrity, so he knows what I'm talking
There's
about.
only one temple like that, though. There's 10,000 miles away.
Yes.
I understand the message to the men in the room, but what's the message for the women in the room?
Become men. Jack was saying that he doesn't care about the girls, but what temple is that?
There you go, Linda.
And then we have a closer look at these women parading themselves in tight clothing in front of nervous monks. Isn't that wonderful? We have great exposure at such an early age.
What's it all about?
Not done yet. Now, this is the same monk now, the famous monk now. Let me put my palms together, be my becoming single-minded in the midst of beauty and temptation. See, I don't move. His head is kind of a little bit tilted, but he's still in samadhi.
So what's the caption?
The Sanghams are being trained about more.
Anatomy.
I think this guy here is teaching them how to bow to the Buddha, I think.
That's screwed up with
That's
sugar.
good.
Yeah, you're just making it up because you don't know what it says.
And then this only happens in Taiwan. Folks.
China. China.
China? Okay, so it's even better in China. Okay, China here, okay, the monks are being trained in the military things. Monks have their list. So, if you push them to shove, they may have to kill.
Oh, that's it.
Only in China and Taiwan.
Đài Loan this time.
Yeah.
Is it Thai? No, I think
Đài Loan hay
this
Trung
is
Quốc,
Taiwan.
Trung Quốc, it's Trung Quốc thầy
You
chùa.
know, depending on the person who uses
No,
this word.
look at these buildings. These buildings are way too rich for China.
Yeah.
This is Taiwan.
Yeah, but the Taiwanese building doesn't. It's too cultural. The Taiwanese
we have
is,
Taiwanese. Never mind.
Taiwanese building is more colorful. They like to show, so it's more colorful. It's not as great.
No, that's a Taoist temple, not the Taiwanese.
Because I haven't seen this kind of background, and the mountain range is hard to see from
Maybe you're
Taiwan.
right. Maybe China.
Yeah,
but
because
Taiwan same thing. Taiwan,
because this military guy is more mainly
That's
China.
China.
Yeah, okay, you're right. Okay, it's okay.
You're outnumbered, Ed. You got.
No big deal, no big deal. Don't get afflicted.
Back to the girls.
Back to the girl is so important. This is nothing.
Look at this, folks. Look at this. These beautiful pictures. You see, we never stop learning. That's my caption. The monk trying to learn how to shoot a submachine gun.
Oh God,
Yeah.
that's awful.
Okay? Isn't it cool? Wow. We never stop learning.
Just practice, Roberta.
Look at this guy. And he's doing a good job. Look at that. Look at total concentration. Enter samadhi to shoot.
I know his teacher doesn't look very happy.
And then they play soccer. And then they spectate the soccer game.
No, the victory. Supporting the
Yeah, the victories. Yeah,
cheering the soccer game.
Yeah, she reads the Vietnamese.
The girls put the rubs on.
She's Vietnamese.
Ask her, she'll
So
play
the
with you.
victories are watching the soccer game. Now look at this.
Oh, brother, now I've seen it all.
I'm moving to mainland China, let me tell you. Hurry up. I don't have a whole lot of time left for you. I start living now for change. Look at this. So a monk playing a video game here.
On a motorcycle.
Okay, motorcycle. He's at McDonald's.
Oh, brother.
Did hot dogs.
Okay?
Yeah, I can do that for you here.
Yeah.
You don't need to go there for that.
And then, look at that, he's eating a Big Mac.
Is he really?
Life is good, man. Look at this. I can't tell which make this is.
Look at he's got his beads on.
Does it have like a Mercedes logo?
A Lexus.
No, it's not a Mercedes. It's
Leather
not.
seat.
Lexus? Leather seats. Okay. So this guy is playing a card game with, I'm sure she's a passenger on the train, for sure.
The dealer from Vegas.
Okay, wait. This is the best. This is my favorite.
Oh, wow.
Maybe it's a woman.
No.
Maybe it's a sister.
Oh, the mother.
Yeah.
Look at that.
That isn't his mother.
Yeah, she's too young to
I don't hold your mother's hand doing anything.
Not at that age.
Now you know why. Now you know why they're not willing to return the Tibet to the Dalai Lama. Eh?
That's not the Dalai Lama, is it, Mister?
No, that's just the closing.
It's the best.
Dalai Lama's here.
It's the Tibetan Lama?
Yeah, based on the closing.
The collar, the shoes, and the shirt.
All right, you give him the benefit of the doubt. If he had a life before becoming a left-hand person, it could very well be his daughter.
You can just send it to Jack directly.
He looked younger than that.
He didn't look old.
Yeah, Jack.
I think so.
They don't.
You didn't see his front.
He wore shades. He didn't look that
Oh,
old.
they had already came from San Jose, Master. I see that from the realtor.
Oh well, so now you see the lifestyle of monks, okay, of mendicants. We do have options, folks. We do have options.
Oh, God.
So they feel blessings, believe it or not. Okay, not too loud, okay? Not too loud. Okay, number 2, the frightener demons. Okay? Because they maintain a proper upright comportment. deportment, and the cultivation of proper dharma is a yang, produces yang energy, which frightens demons. Demons again are yin energy. Okay?
What is proper energy?
Proper is when you cultivate the proper dharma, the non-deviant dharma. Okay? This is important. I need to point it out to you because the more Kung Fu you increase, the more your Kung Fu increases, the more you will make the demons uncomfortable when you deal with them. Okay? Because personally, when I sit with the demons, some of the demons who possess other people, after a while they begin to shake, begin to feel.
The people begin to shake, or the demon?
Both.
Both?
They become fearful.
Does it also increase the chance of attack greater? Because
yeah, of course. The attack is nothing they can do, so they get frightened. You think they can sit next to you and do nothing? Of course they attack you first. Okay, number 3, destroy evil. What evil are we destroying? They're talking about a bhikshu, a level person has destroyed evil because these bhikshus or bhikshunis, they leave behind the world. Okay? They take leave of the world, meaning that they give up the bad habits or the evil habits. Okay? And then they cultivate in purifying the 3 karmas of mouth, body, and mind. They change false and become good. That's why they destroy evil. Why is it called destroy evil? Why did I talk about being constructive, not destructive, and yet my being is destructive? What's the contradiction? We cultivate. We're supposed to be constructive. Cultivators, proper cultivators, build. They do not destroy. Okay? And why here are we talking about destroying?
Getting rid of it in yourself.
That's right. You're destroying the evil stuff within yourself.
They just leave and go somewhere else though, right?
What?
The evil?
Oh yeah. They don't get killed. It's just a victim. They just get evicted. Like for example, Jimmy's like in our case, we have a young gentleman who's has manic depression. What's his name again? The guy at CI.
Oh, Tom?
Yeah, Thomas.
Yeah. Student?
Yeah, the student. Yeah. And he progressed very quickly and then he dropped out. You know why? Because the female ghost that possesses him is very possessive. She's very attached to him. And she influences him. They're not comfortable being around us. This is a case where sometimes you get influence. You don't even know. Okay, they're not comfortable. But such is the nature of the retribution. They choose. They have the choice. Whereas, if you have the good roots, then they can't keep you away. Can't keep you. Any questions? Slide 43.
So any left-arm person is called the bhikshu?
Bhikshu, yeah.
And the Bhagavan, is that any speaker, or is that a particular person?
Bhagavan is a title of a Buddha. That carries those meanings. Bhikshus and also has 5 more meanings. The substance and nature are harmonious and accommodating. Okay, meaning they subdue and tame the body in language. They don't curse and they don't behave. They have outrageous behavior. So far so good. They guide the arrogant and slanderous to make offerings. So this is the subduing Dharma. They transmit Dharma to crosses for living beings. All right. Number 3, reputation far-reaching, not because they try to impress people. The reputation is far-reaching because you do good and because you're virtuous. Okay? It's not like they go around and making plans to build up their reputation or increase the following. They simply focus on purifying the 3 karmas. Master Hsuan Hua, for example, when he first started teaching in this country, for a long, long time, no one paid attention to him. Okay, so they cultivated his disciples, made progress, and so on. And then eventually people would hear about it. Not because by design, it's because eventually word spread around of his virtues. Because what he transmitted is an outstanding cultivation dharma that's never available before anywhere. Not in China, not in Taiwan, not in the US, not anywhere. So he did us big favors, a great favor by transmitting his dharma. That's what we are cultivating. We, the Buddha disciples, are cultivating his dharma. Okay, and then he put the standards so high up there that everyone else has to emulate it. Everyone. You know that? That's why the Buddha disciples, like Randy and Brian, are pretty arrogant because they look up and they say, see, my master standard is so high up there. What have you got? Really? That's the whole generation's attitude. They have an arrogance problem because they think those are the best. And therefore, the standard is so high that no one else can measure up to it. No one, frankly. No one that I know of yet. Okay? Number 4.
What are the 3 karmas?
Body, mind, and mouth. So what we're doing quietly is that since the Go generation is so great, what about the Jin generation? What have you got to show for yourself? It hurts. Huh? Have you got to show for yourself? Okay. See, Master Hsuan Hua transmitted the beautiful Dharma for his pupils, the Go generation. Then the Go generation has to transmit their Dharma as appropriate for the Jin generation. Alright? Each generation has to transmit their own Dharma that's appropriate for the times. The Jin Dharma is no longer Master Hsuan Hua's Dharma. You got that? Okay? So the pressure is on for Master Hsuan Hua's disciples to transmit their own dharmas. Okay.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
I'm getting very confused about this. Are they going to transmit the dharma they learned from Master Hsuan Hua, or they got some new dharma, some other dharma? I don't understand what you're saying.
Yeah, you understand.
Okay. That's what it is?
Yeah, that's
okay.
what it is. Because the whole generation Dharma is for us only, for our generation, because this is the generation of disciples who receive the transmission directly from Master Hsuan Hua.
Right.
So what it means is that the Dharma there is designed for his direct pupils. Not all of them will be able to cultivate it. Okay? But the full range of goal disciple generation, they will be exposed to the entire realm of dharmas. For example, he has dharmas for left-hand people. They have dharmas for lay people. They have dharmas for left-hand people who are not within the DRBA system. Okay? For example, the hận trán, hận tở, hận xiang. Okay? The people who are actually his level disciples who are not using the DRBA facilities. Actually, they're outside of the system.
How do you spell
Actually,
go?
they're called rejects.
How do you spell that? Go.
G-U-O.
G-U-O?
G-U-O.
G-U-O.
Yeah. That's the pinyin form.
The pinyin form.
His name is Guda.
Okay? So he has a full range of dharmas. Okay? He has, okay, now, his hum dharma, which is for left home disciples who are fully ordained by him. Okay, I'm not fully ordained, so I'm only a Go Dharma. But then on top of the Go Dharma, they also have a Hung Dharma, okay, which is the left home people Dharma, which also is broader than the Go Dharma, okay, because much broader, much more demanding. And so he has a Hung Dharma, which is the left home generation, left home disciples. They in turn have to transmit their own dharmas for the next generation, the Jin generation. Okay, that's what this current generation. All right. So what is their dharma right now? The dharma right now, I'm not sure. Dharma right now is apparently all 200 left home people are teachers. So you can have 200 different teachers. You can go and ask questions if you have problems. That's why I used to tell Danny, I said, you have 200 different teachers. Go and ask them your questions. He says, oh yeah, that's nice. That's when he used to be so wishy-washy. Yeah, that's nice. Oh, you're right. I'm so lucky. And then a few months later, I said, so have you asked a question?
That's just what he would do.
I don't think so. So then I said, you see how it's being polite? It's not 200 people. You have to find one you can turn to ask questions. It's not 200. Okay? It's that one person who can answer your questions. Okay? Number 4, back to slide 43. Can cure aches and pains. Okay? Aches and pains. There can sever afflictions, and the important thing about being a leftful person is that we do not give rise to harmony. In my book, it's very important. Okay? When you have strength, you learn to be gentle. You learn not to harm. And as long as you do that, you can have the chance to progress. Because if you abuse your strength, that's when you begin to fall. You begin to regress.
Is this spiritual powers?
Number 4, yeah, spiritual powers as well as samadhi power.
not anywhere near what Master Shenhua would teach you.
Well, he taught the Dharma already. Now we have to cultivate it. Master Shenhua took him his entire lifetime. He left home at a pretty young age. 12, 13, right? Something like that.
Yeah.
And then he cultivated, and then he cultivated with in seclusion. Okay. For years and years. So he decided to transmit the level, the Dharma, the cultivation Dharma in this country. For example, he transmitted the hands and eyes Dharma here in this country, not in China. You know that? He had many Chinese disciples in Hong Kong and mainland China. Never transmitted the Dharma, only in America, folks. Only to American disciples. Because the Dharma is for here, this country.
And he translated W. Job too.
Yeah.
Well, what was the part that you said that he wouldn't transmit the spiritual powers because of the misuse of it?
No, that's the Surangama mantra.
Oh, okay.
And that's a different Dharma.
Okay.
Because it's very powerful.
So this is not that.
Well, no, it's not that. It's not that. The problem with Surangama mantra is that it's too powerful. It causes problems. The objective is to change and transform, not to crush, not to humiliate, not to defeat. Okay? Beings have to be willing to change. It's a path of least resistance. Number 5, not turn back on sunlight. The bhikshus are the seekers of wisdom. Even though bhikshus are planting the causes to become arhatship, but actually our ultimate goal in cultivating the level of people's dharma is to accomplish the Buddhist wisdom. Okay? Questions? 44, slide number 44. Great bhikshus. Great meaning had 3 meanings. Great meaning respected, okay, by the gods, kings, and great men. Great here, you deserve to be respected by the powerful people, by the opinion leaders, by the leaders of our societies. Okay, they call you as great because they decide they put a label on you as you are superior, you are great. Okay, to show their respect. Number 2, many. Great means that volume. You have a lot of knowledge of the scriptures. Okay. Number 3, superior. Meaning that even among great, you're great among great. Okay. You're superior among the superior people. Any questions? Number 45. Great bodhisattvas. Okay, bodhisattvas are enlightened beings. They're themselves sentient beings, and they usually come disguised. Bodhisattvas do not go around proclaiming themselves to be bodhisattvas. If you hear people proclaiming themselves to be superior teachers, superior bodhisattvas, you know they form the things. But in Mahayana, great bodhisattva has to be from 8th round and higher. It's a class by themselves. In the enlightened classes, enlightened being classes, from 1 to 7th ground positions, they consider small bodhisattvas or regular bodhisattvas. The great bodhisattvas, mahasattvas, the great bodhisattvas, also called mahasattvas, are from 8th round up. That's a special kind of wisdom. Very tough to get there. The well-known 8th round bodhisattva is Tenpo Shiyun, Master Hsuan Hua's teacher. The patriarch before Master Hsuan Hua is Tenpo Shiyun. Okay, he's an 8th round bodhisattva. All right, any questions? They are a special class. The wisdom is incredible. From 1 to 7, that's from 7 to 8, it's like a big leap. Very, very big leap. It's very difficult to get from, to go from 7 to 8. Okay? Any questions? Too far-fetched for you. You okay, you only want to know one thing you can grasp. And Eightfold Division, did we go through this? It seems like we lecture on a lot of these Eightfold Divisions here. Different beings who are Dharma protectors of us. They're gods. Many gods are Dharma protectors, by the way. They cultivated Mahayana as well. Okay? Many Dharma protectors are gods. And they attended the Sutra lectures, Dharma assemblies. Okay? The dragons, beings with a lot of spiritual powers. The yakshas or the speedy ghosts. They have a lot of spiritual power. They can move very fast. The Gandharvas or the musical spirits, they play very good musical instruments. The Asuras or this is the Yanasuras, where they are very ugly on the male, but they're extremely gorgeous on the female. The number 6, the Garuda or the golden winged pungbirds. They have a lot of spiritual powers. They are the arch enemies of the dragons. The Kinnaras, or the musical spirit, they are good at chanting, at singing. And number 8, Mahorajas, or the big pythons, they're called earth dragons. They are the huge pythons we see. Okay. All these, by the way, they may manifest as different these beings, but underneath actually are bodhisattvas. Go to the Mahayana. Now that I know, and I regret so much for yelling at them. Remember that I told you one day. I never could forgive myself for that.
Oh, Master.
Okay. Slide 47. At that time, the Dharma Prince Manjusri, receiving the awesome inspiration of the Buddha, rose from his seat, bared one of his shoulders, knelt on his right knee, bowed his back, put his palms together, and said to the Bhagavatam, "O honored one, we wish you would speak about such dharmas as the Buddha's names, the great vows they made in the past, and their supreme merit and virtue, so that those who hear them will be rid of their karmic hindrances. This request is also for the sake of bringing benefit and bliss to sentient beings in the Dharma image age." Lúc bây giờ ông Mạn Thù thất lợi Pháp Vương tự nhờ oai thần của Phật, từ chỗ ngồi đứng dậy đã đi để bày vai trên hữu và gối trên mặt, quỳ sát đất khom lưng, chắp tay hướng về phía Phật bạch rằng: "Bạch Đức Thế Tôn, cúi mong ngài nói rõ những pháp như danh hiệu, những bổ nguyện rộng lớn cùng những công đức thù thắng của chư Phật, để cho những người nghe được nghiệp chướng tiêu trừ, và để cho chúng đủ tình ở đời trường pháp được nhiều lợi lạc." Benefit and bliss. Should be loud. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Slide 50. Requesting the Dharma. This is the final section of the causes and conditions of the arisal of the teaching, where Manjusri now, Pure Youth Manjusri, requested that the Buddha speaks of this medicine master Buddha Dharma for our sake. Because he, as a number one in wisdom among the Bodhisattvas, understands that this particular Dharma here will bring us great benefit, will bring us greatness. For us, this is for us, spoken for our benefit. Alright? So there's a way to do that. There's a protocol for requesting Dharma, which we do every week before the Dharma can be spoken. Where you respectfully bow, you put the palms together, and you kneel. Really, that shows the body karma is purified. And then you verbalize requests. Remember in the verse we said, the unsurpassed, the profound. That's the mouth. Okay, karma being purified. And the mind karma being purified in your utmost sincerity first. Okay? So when the mind and body, then when you do that, your mind, your body should be adorned, your mind should be pure. And with all those three karmas purified, you can obtain a response. With all the Buddha's non-outflow merit and virtues. This is not something that you can comprehend. You are, through this process, you execute the Dharma properly. You can then invoke a response from Mahayana, from Buddhas. The response, part of the response, most of the response you get, you cannot see, you cannot feel. It's part of your wealth. Okay? Your hidden wealth. So far so good? Yeah. Because the wealth there is the non-outflow wealth. Meaning that this is kind of blessings and wealth that will help you accomplish the way. You need that to make it. And that's what we do every single day. Okay? You know that. Except for the DRBA Master Shenhua's disciples, no one does it. No one else. Because the depth of Master Shenhua's Dharma is incredible. Incredibly deep. The Vietnamese certainly don't have nowhere near this. Okay. So even though every week we spend 5-10 minutes going through that process, and that process is critical, very, very important. You plant seeds. Now, don't sit there and then say, you see, I don't understand what you're talking about. Of course you don't understand what I'm talking about. That's the whole point. Yes?
So you also do this if you're reading Dharma?
On what, Dharma?
So you also do this if you're reading Dharma books?
No, what happened is that you are requesting help from the Buddha and the Bodhisattva.
Yes.
Okay?
Okay.
So, in actuality, you are making a direct request to me, to the speaker, to the Dharma master.
Okay.
Okay, and that puts tremendous pressure on the Dharma master. Tremendous pressure. Okay, and so there is you creating a link between you and the speaker. Whereas if you were to read by yourself, then it's not the same. But if you were to read by yourself, you should keep your three karmas purified. Your mind, your mouth, and your body should be clean. For example, the enlightened being cultivators, for example, they showed us the way. They would bathe themselves before they touch the sutra. You know that? The patriarch of Pure Land named Yin Wang. Okay. Yin is seal, Wang is light. Seal light. He is actually great strength bodhisattva transformation body. It's well known fact. He's actually one of the three sages of Amitabha's Western Pure Land. Okay? And he came here as Yin Wang, Dharma Master Yin Wang. And no one listened to his lecture. No one listened. He's such a lousy lecture. See, maybe one or two people will attend his lectures. No one will invite him to speak. Okay. And by the time he left, then people would know about him and then it's too late. So anyway, he got ejected, so he would give up lecturing because no one would come to listen to him. And then he went up the mountains and read sutras. Read the Tripitaka from beginning to end, non-stop. Okay, for like 17 years, maybe. I don't know, yeah, a long time. And every day he did that, all day long. Okay. Can you imagine the kind of blessings you're going to have to do that? You go berserk, let me tell you. You read like that all day. After maybe a week or so, you go berserk. And he did it for years on end. Okay. And before he touched the sutras, he would shower, he would take a bath, put on clean clothes, okay, offer incense, and then he read sutras. He would never, all these sages are incredible, the way they respected the teachings. Guess what? Because they understand the value of the teachings. And that's how they obtain the response with the teachings. That's how they show us. Okay?
That's beautiful.
So, if you're sincere, and you sit there and grit your teeth and bear the pain and discomfort, okay, then you are purifying your three karmas. That's what we do. Okay? Manjushri is the great bodhisattva. Sanskrit for me, we are on slide 51. Wonderful auspiciousness. Okay? Very auspicious because when he was born, the 10 auspicious things occurred. Manifestation occurred. Okay? It's a little bit beyond our range here, but you can go into Master Shin Hua's lecture and find out what those 10 are. He's also known as the great wisdom Manjushri. Okay, he's foremost in wisdom among bodhisattvas. Okay. All bodhisattvas of the 10 directions look to him as their leader, or recognize him as the wisest. And this is from having accomplished the prajna, non-discriminating inherent wisdom. Probably doesn't mean anything to you, but this is Mahasattva Dharma. Alright? And he symbolizes with a fruition wisdom virtue. Okay? Any questions?
Is Manjushri, is that the big Buddha?
No, that's Maitreya.
Oh,
Yes. Maitreya is a little bit below Manjushri.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Maitreya still have to look to Manjushri as the leader. He's the leader of all bodhisattvas, Vana, in all 10 directions. All bodhisattvas look to him as leadership, for leadership. And he's the guy, he's a bodhisattva, mahasattva. He's so enlightened, so wise that he said, let me request the Buddha to speak this medicine master Buddha Dharma for their sake. And that's how important the Dharma is. And I don't know why it's no longer practiced in Vietnam or in Thai or in China. This particular Dharma here, only Master Hsuan explained it. No one else does. Okay. We are the only author group who explains this particular sutra. No one else does. Not only that, we are practicing this Dharma itself. We are obtaining responses left and right. I don't know why it's not being practiced anywhere else. I don't understand.
Didn't Avalokiteshvara have something to do with this too, or didn't I read something about him making comments about do this and do that to make this work?
Later on in the sutra.
Well, it's later. It's not the same time that Manjushri is doing it. Okay.
One yin is only a small section of the Dharma.
Okay.
Okay. Any other questions? I'll give you another speaking of responses. Okay. This is only recent, unsolicited. This is come courtesy from the online people, namely Jack Chang. Okay, are you still there, Jack?
Yes.
Thank you, Jack. Here's Jack. Jack emailed to me this week. I hope this is the one. Okay. I don't know. You can see this. Can you read this? Huh?
Yes.
Let me blow it up a little bit.
Yeah, that's better.
Yeah.
Is it better? Okay. So never mind. The section I want you to see is this. Last year he had a cousin who had severe. Wait.
Schizophrenia. Yes. Depressed schizophrenia.
Yeah, full-scale schizophrenia.
Yeah.
Right here.
Yeah.
Okay? And it was so bad that, for example, he got it from his mother. His mother killed herself. Okay? And last year it was so bad they went through ECT, electroconvulsion therapy. They put you, they shock your body for like 12 times, right? It's you have to go through the full count of 12 times for it to work. So they zap your body 12 times, 12 different times. And he went through that. He was in the middle of that, and he dropped out of his job, and he was hospitalized. And they were going to the ECT with him. On the 6th, 7th time, Jack then got him exposed to the medicine master Buddha Dharma, and ECT stopped. Okay, no longer need for it. As soon as he got the medicine master Buddha Dharma, ECT treatment is no longer necessary. And he says now, and I lost track of it. And after a while, I said now in the long run, he's just mildly depressed instead of full-scale schizophrenia.
I think his cousin is on the line.
No, that's not Phil.
Anthony.
Is it?
He just signed on.
Oh, really? Okay. Now, what I want to tell you is this is kind of interesting. The first part, mild depression versus full-scale schizophrenia, to me is not a big deal. Okay?
That is a big deal.
Imagine what compare this problem versus Thomas' problem.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
No comparison, right? Not even close. Right? And yet now he's mildly depressed. Now, what interests me is this. Now, Anthony ended up quitting his job. Look at the rest of the email. It's kind of interesting.
Look at the job he had.
Okay.
Oh, wait.
Doing statistics on the annoying parts.
When they surf the web, oh God, no wonder you had
Really?
The spam chef.
You see, folks, what people do when the kind of offenses they create to earn a living, and that's how you open your doors to all kinds of troubles. I remember seeing a piece on Michael Moore, who did the Columbine shooting in Colorado. He said, how come all these guns are available and these shootings are occurring at an alarming frequency? And then Michael Moore said, I wonder if they know what's happening to them. You know what this country is? This area of the country is? Missile defense systems. They make missiles. To kill all this.
Think about it.
Yeah.
That's a terrible job.
Same as working with nuclear.
And guess what? So the funny thing is that now his blessing is now he quit that job. And now he's working in the Census Bureau. Pretty, see, public servant. My application. I advocate becoming a public servant. The least amount of offenses you can
You don't pay any taxes.
That's what he cares about. Isn't it fascinating how it is going from a thing that is not very desirable to something that is you serving the public? It's good. Okay. Interesting, huh? How the response is. Okay. Okay. Anyway, let me see. Let me finish finish the Manjushri Dharma Prince. Okay. We're on slide 52. Dharma Prince is son of Dharma King. The Buddha is the Dharma King, and the Bodhisattvas, Mahasattvas are the Dharma Princes. Dharma, as you note, has a commendation of boundless. The Mahayana Dharma is boundless. It's no bounds. There's nothing that is not Mahayana, of course. Nothing. Whatever you can think of, that's Mahayana. Whatever you cannot think of, even more Mahayana. Whatever you will think of, definitely Mahayana. Only one person can see even humor in Mahayana. No one can comprehend that. Pervasive, everywhere. It applies everywhere. Okay? The king, the king of the sutras, the Avatamsaka Sutra says, in that sutra, the Buddha said, I am the Dharma King. Within the Dharma, I have obtained self-mastery. Okay. I own the Dharma. Okay. I comprehend the Dharma. Right? And the son, Dharma son, the prince, Dharma prince, can transmit the Buddha's mind seal and will eventually succeed in the Buddha's position. See, we do have aspirations of kingdomship. Okay? We're not above it. We also want to succeed our daddy one of these days. Any questions? So the pictures, images I showed you earlier about the monks in mainland China, it's only a phase in our cultivation. You get sidetracked a little bit. But eventually, this is what we want, succeed in Buddha position. Okay? No past judgment now, folks. I show you those pictures so that you see that there's a wide range of cultivators. You can have real good, or you can have real bad. Okay, real barren. So depends on your blessings. If you have a lot of blessings, then you have nothing. When you don't have enough blessings, then you need to comfort yourself with a lot of material things and mama. Questions? Yes.
Talk about the cultivation of Medicine Master Dharma.
Yeah.
Is that what is it besides saying the mantra?
How much time do you have?
Lots of time.
Lots of time?
Yeah.
Okay, then keep coming. I tell you more every single time. Every single time you come here, that's your stuff. Okay. None of it is mine. What? Not. Nearly everything is. Okay? Because it is so vast that I could spend the rest of my career explaining this Dharma to you. I won't have enough time. I'll give you an example. The Avatamsaka Sutra here, I'm telling you by the time I'm ready to explain it to you, it's going to be another 10 years. I'm going to need at least 10 years to explain it. So 20 years. At least.
He said that too. He wouldn't have enough time.
Okay? It's beautiful job. Okay? My favorite. My favorite. What am I doing talking to you about Medicine Master's Sutra? That's all you got. Okay? Paving the way for you to get there. Then he said something so interesting. He said he went to see the 10,000 Buddhas. He listened to all these the dharmas. He went to the Chan meditation week. Would stay there for, and then he went to the Buddha recitation week. He listened to the Dharma, listened to all those things. And he said, I'm not impressed with any of those things until one thing caught my attention. I said, what? What did you see? He said, I heard Master Srinivas take on the Avatamsaka Sutra. And I said, I love this. I said, yeah. I love it too. The best. Okay? But when Master Srinivas explained it, he made it so interesting in a way that's never been done before. He never explained it the way the traditional way that has been explained by the Mahasattvas. So when I explain, I will combine it. Tune in, folks. Tune in. It will be fun. I look forward to it. Until then, you have to become, some of you have to become bodhisattvas first to make it worth my while. Because the Avatamsaka Dharma is for bodhisattvas. It's for bodhisattvas.
That's the only ones that you know.
And the funny thing is that the majority of the old disciples are in love with the Avatamsaka Sutra. Would you like to know why?
Mm-hmm.
They have the roots of the bodhisattvas. Master Srinivas is something else. And we are so fortunate to be exposed to his Dharma.
He's a Mahasaya, where the Dharma he brought to this world is incredible. It revolutionized cultivation, as far as I'm concerned. I'm finding myself constantly falling short of standards. I have yet to exceed any of his standards, he said.
He told you that?
No, I told myself.
Too hard on yourself.
No, it's the truth. See, you have these standards which are very wonderful for you to gauge yourself, gauge your progress, gauge your abilities. And I never had to find any, never could meet his standards. Maybe that's why he left me alone. I don't feel so bad about myself. So basically, the answer to your question is that texts do not make the mistake of the many who came before you, expecting to understand everything. You can't. You only expect. You can understand a little bit at a time, one drop at a time. Okay, that's all you can. That's all you're capable of registering, folks. That's all you're capable of assimilating. I'm sorry, but that's the sad truth.
Is that why this year's Medicine Master Sutra seems so much more than last year's?
That's right. This year you're different. Therefore, the Dharma that's being translated into you is different. It suits your abilities. Okay? So, do not make that mistake, because Mahayana is one drop at a time. Don't anticipate, don't look too far, just one drop at a time. That's all. It's that much. That's fascinating. If you're able to do that, you get so much more out of it already. And that's what Randy made a mistake. And all the people before him, including those Vietnamese guys who came to our assembly expecting to be able to understand Mahayana or compare against Hinayana, something they understand. No way for them. They have no idea what they're getting into. Okay? It's that fast. Mahayana. And you cannot access it if you want to understand. Okay. Just go along with the ride. As long as you have it, come attend if you can. If you don't have time, no problem. If you can, if you do have time, come attend it. And that's how you get the most out of it, by expecting nothing. Because whatever you expect, folks, you put a limit on your ability to connect with it. Whatever you want to understand, okay, puts a limit on your ability to get. By letting go, then you have access to the full range. Does it make sense, folks? See, there's no way for you to understand it. You don't care how smart you are. You don't care how much more time you spend on it. You cannot possibly grasp it. I can't grasp it. I've been doing it full time. Okay? And I receive all kinds of help. I can't grasp it. Okay? And that's what makes it so exciting. Because for whatever you can grasp it, whatever that drop you get a week, every single time you get, it is so much of it that you can not possibly comprehend how much you get for that one drop. That's how powerful Mahayana is. I'll give you an example. These things that happen in Mahayana, you guys have no clue what happened. I went to San Jose last year. And
and lectured on a small sutra called the Bequeathed Teaching Sutra. No one explains it anymore. Okay, no one. Because it's very simple. You read the sutra, you can get the English text on the yabie.org. And it's so easy. You read it, it's so clear, it's so, the principles are simple, right? I explain it to the Vietnamese crowd, and I occasionally translate it into English for my groupies. And
the white chicks.
The white chicks.
yeah, the white chick. and one of the guy who considered himself to be my Dharma protector is that acupuncturist in San Jose.
Mac.
Yeah, Mac. I call him Mac. And he attended my lecture once, and he said he never wanted to attend again. He said, "You're a lousy lecturer." I said, "Okay, I'm a lousy lecturer." And to be fair to him, the first time I lectured in Vietnamese, so I was trying to translate from English to Vietnamese. I'm much more fluent in English than Vietnamese. I have a hard time speaking Vietnamese because I rarely speak in Vietnamese except when I yell to Viet. Okay, or curse to him. So that kind of language cannot be used for sutra lectures. Agreed? So it's not fair. To be fair to him, that the first time I really fumbled and a lot of things went wrong. I was lecturing in the dump, no Buddha statue and everything. It's horrible. Okay. But he made me smile. To his credit, he said, "Okay, I'll give you a second chance. I know you know a good lecturer, but I want to help you become a better lecturer." So he got on my case and said, "You're such a lousy lecturer. You have improved. Okay, they're many good lecturers. Let me show you how to do it. Let me suggest you readings. Let me give you tapes of other good Dharma masters who are great lecturers, and I want you to learn because I think you're better than this." I said, okay, I try. I try harder, I promise you. And then you improve, and I think you can have a huge following in San Jose because I know you're capable. I know you can bring a lot of good for our people, our Vietnamese. I said, okay, I try. And a couple of months later, he came back to me and he said, "So how you doing?" I'm trying. I still have some following. I have 10 people who attend my lectures. "Oh, 10 people? You should have 1,000, 1,000. Okay. I said, 10 is all I can handle. I heard of this Vietnamese monk who has a PhD from Harvard University. He lectured. You should go and attend his lecture and listen how he lectured. He would go to lecture, and then from beginning to end, he doesn't use a computer. He doesn't use any notes. He would get up on the podium and lecture endlessly. And people listen to him raptured. He said, "What a great lecture." So I said, "How wonderful." So then a month later I said, "How are you doing?" I said, "I still have 10 people." At least they didn't quit. They still keep on coming back. 2 of them with my white chicks. And occasionally I have and I have, the China girl coming. So, sometimes I make it to 12. So I said, but the funny thing happened. I still can't find myself. I still need my notes. I still need my projector. I still need my lecture notes. Why is that? It's because I want to make sure that I'm getting all making sure that I'm conveying all the patriarchs and the great masters' lecture notes. See, the patriarchs and the great masters are old. They explained this sutra. I went through many of those explanation
to make sure that I get all the different perspectives, different angles, and then I put them together, okay, and explain it so that all the explanation, all the hard work are not in vain. But a funny thing happened though. In my assembly, there is a monk, a very senior monk. He is a Vietnamese monk. He left the home life at the age of 23, which is late for Vietnamese monks. He's now in his 50s. Okay, he's a little older than I am. So he's been ordained for a long, long time. He went to India, like that tradition of Vietnamese monk, to get a PhD in India. And he nearly almost got a PhD in India. And then he got sick. He got so sick that he could not stand up for months. He was bedridden for months. And then when he got well enough, he had to go back to Vietnam because he did not have the strength to study, to finish his PhD. Okay? This goes now, getting his PhD. Okay? Went back to Vietnam. And then the monk in San Jose Temple was a sponsor of all his studies. So he could not finish the PhD. That venerable master in San Jose sponsored that the other monk to come to San Jose to live in the temple with him. So it's been there for months now. Okay? And he said, so are you seeing a doctor? I said, no, I'm not seeing any doctor because none of them can do any good for me. Can do anything for me. But this guy is weird. He would attend my lecture every single week. He would sit there. He would wait until we do the Dharma request. He would never do a Dharma request, you see. It's wasted his time. When we're done, when we're ready to lecture, and then he comes out and sits on the chair. So we always have a chair for him right there. So as soon as we're done, as soon as I begin to speak, to lecture, then he shows up. Not before that. Okay? He would listen. He would listen every week. Okay? And then every now and then I tease him. I would ask him a question and ask him to speak for us. And he would join in. He enjoyed himself. For some reason, for personal, his erudition, his seniority, to listen to a low life like myself every single week. To find interest in doing that. Not that I requested him to do that. He did it on his own. Okay? So he did that for about 2 or 3 months. And then one day I looked at him. I said, wow, what happened? So Mac said, what happened? What happened? I said, Mac, something happened. After 3 months of listening to my lecture, of my bumbling, fumbling lecture, his health improved. And he got from second dhyana, he made it to third dhyana. No cultivation. So I turned to Mac and said, it seems like it's a worthwhile thing to do, isn't it? To be able to help a monk of his stature go from second dhyana to third dhyana. That means that he can help a lot more Vietnamese Buddhist disciples. Don't you agree, Mac? I said, yeah, it's a really good thing to do. So I said, Mac, I don't know how to lecture like those great masters. But for some reason, the people listening to my lecture, they got a lot more out of it.
Including his wife and daughter were there all the time.
And the nun came too.
Yeah.
But his daughter was 15 years old and she couldn't get enough of it.
So I can't help them understand the lecture anymore, any better, but somehow their wisdom unfolds, the samadhi increases, and the health improves. For some reason, I'm not sure why. Okay?
If you saw that monk, you would think he was at least 10 years older than Master.
Yeah.
His hair was all gray.
He
didn't hardly walk.
He's not well.
He's not well, I know, Master.
He's not well. And now he's
Worse.
pretty well off.
Oh, he's okay.
Yeah.
He's okay.
Stuff, yeah. So That's what Mahayana can do for you. Okay? Listen, not talk. He only was interested intellectually mindful. Okay? That's all he wanted. He said, this guy explains sutras the way I never been heard before, not the way academians explain it. Because when I explain a simple sutra, I went through cultivation process, the angle of cultivation hasn't been done yet. Not by the patriarchs, not by Master Shinma, not by anyone. Okay, so I have my own angle of explanation. I didn't even check the notes because I forgot about the notes. Okay? But anyway, so it piqued his curiosity. He said, wow, that's how sutras can be explained that way. Okay? Different angles. And that's what motivated him. He was curious. He said, no, I don't know what he does. I'm not sure. Because his is Hinayana, ours is Mahayana. So our angles, our visions, our perspectives are much broader, much broader. Okay. And so that's an example for you, for just listening. Just listen. Let it sink in. Okay. And that's how you obtain a response.
And Mac missed it all.
Yeah.
Doesn't the speaker and the assembly, don't they have to have conditions and affinities before people come? It's not like, I think I heard this one time, Master Shinwa speak. He said that if the person speaking has a lot of affinities with the audience, then they will come listen, even if that person doesn't know what he's talking about. And if the person is really astute, high-level cultivator, has no affinities with the audience, even if he speaks the true Dharma, nobody will come and listen.
Like the Yingguan Pasha, the Yingguan patriarch, Yingguan, he never had drew a big audience.
Yeah.
Whereas a lot of people have a much bigger following. Or the Indian guru, he has 1 million disciples. Very famous. He's alive right now. He has disciples, Caucasians, Indians, Chinese, you name it, all over the world. Very famous.
Which one?
I don't know his name, but he has long hair, black hair with white hair.
Maharishi.
Not that guy. That guy's an idiot.
Maharishi died.
Yeah, that guy's an idiot. He teaches weird dharmas. It's like the hopping hopping university. You know about that guy?
It's crazy.
They sit there and meditate, and then the objective of meditation is that then you can hop.
It's called the cities. The cities.
No, leaping. Yeah. That's what they want. They leap. They have a university for that. Can you imagine?
Oh, brother.
They teach you to fly. That's what it is. That's they pretend that's the fly.
But that guy's a horny experimental fool. He watched porn with tapes.
Oh, that's disgusting, isn't it?
That shows you his level. Okay, you have a body, you're subject to sexual desire. Okay, but for you to be immersed in that to this level, it shows that he's so medium, so low level. Okay. You know, we have emotions. You're gonna go anger, joy, all those things. Those people with samadhi, didn't last very long. It's a blink. That's all. That's why we cultivate, because we all these bleeds happen, but that's it. That's about it. You don't dwell on it. Okay. So anyway, the Maharishi and so on. But it's it takes not only affinities, but also because Randy, to tell you the truth, the Mahasattvas and Bodhisattvas, they have affinities a lot. Okay. So either it's a case of they're creating new affinities, so they're followers and not following them. So they create new affinities, or the fact that they are the nature of the process is that you teach teachers first, people with high potential first, good and then snowball by itself. For example, in our assembly, I realized since we started 4 years ago, you guys have the potential to reach pretty high level. Come on, let's be real about it. For you to surpass the kung fu of most monks and nuns. Okay, the overwhelming majority of monks and nuns cannot compare with your level of kung fu. And you're still improving. That's a scary thing about it. Okay, that's because of your potential. And now we're beginning to broaden slowly. So next month we do a Pure Land assembly, so that people can come attend me for half an hour. You come eat lunch and enjoy the good food and listen to a bit of Dharma. Okay, so we're broadening, opening the doors, and that's because you guys, because of your perseverance. If you did not persevere, then I would have no desire to teach them the Pure Land Dharma. Okay? Because it's just too much support. I need a woodfish person, I need a bell person, I need a kitchen staff, I need a Buddha hall, I need so many things. Even the ceremonies itself is very labor intensive. I don't have people to do all the ceremonies yet. That's why I only do part of it. Okay? So eventually we have to transmit the Sian Dharma, the left home people Dharma. Just like the Chin left home people, they have their own left home people. I don't have it yet. Okay? Because that's required. That's necessary to transmit the cultivation. So yours is a rule Dharma, but eventually I need to teach it the Sian Dharma. Okay. Because like Master Shenhua, he had to transmit it to the Hung Dharma, the Hung generation. Okay. Any other questions? Okay. We stop at slide 53. Is it time yet? Oh, it's early, 3:25.
Another hour.
Okay, so we stop here today. By the way, we're not going to have their Mosa is not available next week. Okay? So we can skip it or you can come here. It's up to you.
Can we come here, Master?
Because even if you come here, then the problem is that they're advertising, right?
It could be in the paper.
Yeah, it could be in the paper.
But we can delay it, right?
No,
It affects many of them.
Will they allow us to post a note at the hall there that it was canceled for the week?
Yeah, we
should.
can do that.
Yeah.
I mean, anybody that does respond to the ad?
I don't think they would object to it, considering the way we treated them when we reacted this morning.
Oh, okay.
You could have yelled and screamed and given dirty looks and stuff like that. This morning we were basically
kicked out.
Well, they gave us the garage.
In the last minute.
You want me to do also? I can do on Friday after work. I can.
But chances are that my gut feeling is that we usually call first.
Yeah.
Okay, they usually call first and say, "Who is he?" That's what they do all the time with Mac. They call Mac and say, "Who is he?" He's above.
Where did you come from? Small time.
Small time.
They could be calling, if you're looking at the older population, they don't deal with telephone that much, so they will take the bus and go there.
So on Friday afternoon I can drop by and have a
you have Danny contact the nun there and ask her.
Okay.
And ask her that we could because we tell her that we advertise it. Okay, some advertisement on the paper coming the week this week. So if people who show up can be even though for probably not, you know. Besides, if they show up, tough luck. We're not going to be there anyway.
That's okay. You know,
so we are taking care of ourselves here, this group. But the new ones, tough luck. That's another instruction. But then if you run that, is it one-time deal or is it?
Well, you know, some of these they could be putting it in their column for the community service, so events. They could be putting it 1 time, 2 times, but if every month if we keep faxing it to them, then they somehow have it, and then they have a spot in there they put it in.
It's slip it in. Okay, fine. So we do that because to tell you the truth, I'm not impressed with that Bolsa location. We are. No one knows about it. Unless you do something about it, we have to move, or either back here or somewhere else. Because the objective is to transmit it to the Vietnamese that no one knows about it. So we throw money out the window. On the other hand, so I'm going to give it another month. I'm going to wait until June to see if the things works, and then or we find another venue for it because it's not working out that well. I don't have any PA. Every week I come is like an adventure. I don't know what kind of facilities we get, and what they have up their sleeves. It's just so strange of an arrangement.
I mean, when we went in there, the blue room.
You have to slow. You have to forgive me.
But they had a PA in there, Master. She opened up the thing.
You're right, but you should not judge them. It's okay. That's the whole point. We cultivate so that we can let it go over our head and be dumb and stupid. Okay, it's all that.
Do we have class tomorrow in Rosemead?
Do we have to meet tomorrow?
Do we? I mean, no, not to have to, but
okay.
I mean, it's on, right?
It's on tomorrow.
Yeah.
The Earth Star Sutra lecture. It's on tomorrow. Okay. And any other questions?
Well, can we come here next week?
Yeah, we can come here next. We should meet here next week because we can't plan on the new ones. New ones, they come tough luck.
Is it 9 o'clock next week?
And even if they don't allow us to post a thing, they probably won't allow us because they're afraid we're going to lose their Facebook followers.
I was just thinking of dropping by Friday afternoon, just put a piece of paper.
No. Then next week they shoot at me. I'm afraid of these nuns.
Just say due to scheduling beyond our control, we're unable to have our.
No, have Danny deal with it. I'm sure. Since their image of Danny is the same wishy-washy man, they say no.
He started it all. He got us to go there.
Okay? You don't have to have it our way. Remember? Okay? If they don't see in their heart to do it, that's fine. But we should ask them first. That's all. Okay? We're not demanding anything. But
may I be placed on the list for an alternate driver for getting the nun down here?
Sure.
Danny's not available, or you're not available, or
Or I don't want to talk to her about my daughter.
Would you email me and say, Linda, you're up?
Okay. Thank you for the offer. So the this year we're trying that, and we're trying to reach out, and I still don't know the best way to do that because both is saturated. Not many people are as crazy as you are to come here, to come to the temple weekends. You basically are sacrificing your entire weekend. You know that. You're not normal.
That we know that. I know that anyway.
At best Sundays. At best Sundays. That's it. And then they come around 11. They come and then they have lunch. They come around 11 because they know they eat lunch at noon. Okay? So they come around lunch and it doesn't look like they go there for the food. But then if the food is no good, they're not coming back. Okay? They eat lunch and then they listen a little bit and then after lunch they disappear. Vanish. Okay? That's a Sunday mood for the typical Buddhist, let me tell you. Okay? So for you to spend your weekend studying Dharma is not normal.
This year is the
So
first year.
you don't expect people to do that. Okay? Even DRPA people are like that. You go to Golden Temple, you go to Long Beach Monastery. How many people do you see every morning, every afternoon? 10 people, if you're lucky. Lecturers probably 3 or 4, and 3 nuns, 3 or 4 lay people and 3 nuns. Okay, so I still don't know how to do it, but as long as you're willing to learn, I'm willing to teach, and my interest is that now my next challenge is the Sien Dharma. The Ru Dharma I understand how to teach you now, because I see a pattern after over 4 years now. I'm beginning to see the light. But the Sien Dharma is something that I hope to be able to begin to translate, to teach, because we need reliable people. I can't depend on the monks and nuns who come and go as they please. Okay, when we do a Dharma assembly, I need to be able to rely on people who will be there to hit the woodfish, to hit the big woodfish, hit the bell, to do those things. The Pure Land Dharma requires it. Chan, I don't care. Chan, I don't care. I don't need anyone. But the Pure Land Dharma is different. You need either you come up to speed on those skills, or I need to train that more people. Okay. So at least now we can organize among ourselves. At least we have a woodfish and a family, so we can have a Dharma now. Last year I did it all by myself. This is too much. All right.
How do you spell Sien?
What?
The Sien Dharma? How do you spell that?
Sien Dharma.
Sien?
Oh, Sien?
S-E-E apostrophe N.
X-I-A-N.
Sien.
Oh, X-I-A-N.
Yes, Sien.
X.
Sien. Sien means worthy. Worthy Dharma. Ru means entering the flow Dharma.
That's his
Flow.
set, and you take his precepts that we give you.
Okay. And the Sien Dharma is the Dharma of the worthiness. The worthy Dharma.
Is that going to be the left home then under you?
And the Guo Dharma?
What?
What does the Guo Dharma mean? The
Guo Dharma means the fruition Dharma. That's Master Srinivas' direct disciples.
Fruition.
Fruition?
Yes.
Fruit. Guo means fruit. Guo means fruit. Or fruition. Guo. All right. Any final questions?
So we're coming here next Saturday.
We're coming here next Saturday.
9 o'clock.
9 o'clock. You can bring food here as well. Not a problem. And of course, you may have a concert, right? We have a celebrity here, folks. No,
I won't have one next week.
You don't have concerts anymore. You don't hold
I
concerts.
do, but I'm not having one next week.
Oh, how often do you have concerts? I thought you retired. Isn't it time you retired?
No, I'm making a new record.
You're making a new record?
Yeah.
Whoa, that's intensive.
Yeah.
So how do you find inspiration?
That's a funny question.
Brush your teeth with tequila.
Yeah, it's all you see. He's passing around.
That's the name of the song.
Oh, that is
Brushing my teeth with tequila. Personal experience.
poor guy. Yeah,
Much better.
I'd
Much
be
better.
out in minutes if I did that.
Look at this naughty face. This is after he brushed his teeth. In tequila. So how much longer do you have before you finish your?
It'll be a month or something like that.
You were finishing it, or?
No, we're finishing it now. We're mixing.
You're wrapping it up.
Yeah.
You're mixing it.
Yeah, we're mixing it. Then it's got. It'll be a while before I have a copy. Like 2 or 3 months.
Best of luck.
Well, thank you.
And then is that a major release? How does that work? They give you a lot of money up front, or how does it work money wise?
No, this is not a major. This is just one of my productions. Right?
Oh, your own production company?
Well, yeah.
So it's like you stand in the street corner and say, "Can I interest you?"
Yeah, right. Yeah, we're speculating. Right.
Oh, really?
Let's see what we can get.
Well, you're pretty well known though in the field.
I'm pretty well known.
Yeah. He's a hot shot. He has lots of groupies. That's why I use him.
I don't make a lot of money, but I'm pretty well known.
Yeah. Artists are not supposed to make a lot of money.
Not even a real artist.
Yeah, if you make a lot of money, that's when you lose it.
Yeah.
No time
right.
at all.
That's right.
Your longevity due to the fact you're not spoiled by success, by money yet.
I agree with that.
Too much money.
I think it's true. Yeah.
Will destroy
So
all your creative instinct.
No, I still write good songs just because I probably wouldn't do it if I made a ton of money.
Yeah, and the other part is that because your body is in pain, you're suffering. That helps.
Okay.
Doesn't it?
Yeah.
See, somebody wise enough. Saturday afternoon.
Amy's wedding.
Oh yeah.
Amy's wedding.
Bye-bye, tell her we said bye. Good luck.
Bye, good luck.
You see, text. If you cultivate and you endure those leg pains, you're gonna find it very inspirational. That's my tip to you.
Right. Okay.
You're gonna be so prolific in your artistic pursuit.
I'm training myself with when I do the Shuriyama mantra. I do it. So
No, not enough. You have to cross your legs.
I do cross my legs. Right?
And do it. See, you whipping out on me.
Oh, you mean I'm supposed to do it 12 hours a day? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, 12 hours a day.
Just one.
No, but you're supposed to sit in full lotus.
Sit
in lotus, half or full. That's comfortable. That's nothing.
what I'm doing now.
You have to sit one leg on top of the other. Let's see, which one is on top? Is it left or right?
I don't even know.
The right on top.
Okay.
No,
Left on top and then
Right on top?
Left and right.
No, but that,
Left and
yeah,
then
but
right.
half lotus.
Left and then right.
Left and right.
Left, left on top. See,
Wait a minute, make up your
Listen
mind.
to her.
Left on top and then right. This there, here, look.
We change our minds. Okay.
So
So
left on top. You got your right on top.
No, you left first.
first, the left first, then the right there.
And then you're right
Okay.
up there.
So
I can't do that.
it hurts.
I can't do it now. I might eventually be able to do it.
But you have to hurt. You don't realize it. The hurting is very important.
Okay.
It hurts a lot.
He read Master Srinivas books, and the part where it mentioned hurt. See, when I read Master Srinivas books, I didn't understand anything. The only thing I understood is that bear the pain. This guy skipped that section. The most important section. Serious.
I never
The
saw
most important section of his books is the leg pains. Yes. The most important book can.
What
not,
book is that?
Hey, walk is not the 4 stages, not all the principles. The most important one is full lotus and bare pains. The most important.
have to practice the Dharma first before you that's the foundation of all child cultivation. All cultivation, okay, is based on full lotus and bearing the pain. This is why they progress so fast, because I calm them to bearing the pain.
Okay.
It hurts like hell.
Yeah.
Okay, but then once you conquer it, you will be opening the doors to so many things. Okay, that's where the responses come from, folks.
Okay.
It's not from intellectual speculation, intellectual understanding. From sitting there and bearing it. That's why the two kids who skipped out on us. That's what they do.
She really hurt today.
Are the gold standard.
Really hurt. Poor Janet, because I happened to touch her there and she almost went.
Oh, I know, I did too. I touched her on the back and she went, oh,
Yeah.
don't touch me.
Yeah.
She was really in pain
You
today.
touch the tip of the hair and it hurts. Yeah. Like Ken said, oh, I'm retired.
We went to San Jose and the first time.
You know, my wife's not even here. I'm better than her already. My wife, she whims out. She goes in the kitchen.
You're not smart. You're not as smart as him. So, the most important part about Master Shinwa's teaching again, folks, is bearing the big pains. You know that? Bearing it. Even his goal level, his Hung disciples don't understand it. I'll tell you that right now. I'm teaching it to you. Bear it. That Dharma is so profound. You don't know how profound the Dharma is in that simple word. Cross your legs, bear it.
And the older you get when you start, the harder it is.
No kidding.
There's a way, there's a methodology behind it. You don't bear it to a grace, you bear it incrementally.
Didn't hear that.
Incremental.
Incremental. Do a little bit of it.
Keep adding a little time and a little time and a little time.
2 minutes a day. Increase it. 2 minutes.
3 minutes.
That's how you do it. That's how I did it. See, Master Jen was pretty neat. He said, bear it! You can take it! I said, no, I can't take it. I'm good. So I can take it for 2 minutes every day. More every day. That's it. That's why I teach all to all. Because your mind can handle it. 2 minutes. Sometimes I go to find half an hour, 2 or 3 hours. But that's, once you got the momentum, then you understand. But the first thing barrier is the most important. It goes down here from there. You pass the first thing barrier by an hour and a half. It goes downhill. It's downhill from there.
So related to that, I have been doing that, and I see, the change in me. So, but
what change?
I mean, it's sometimes it's quantifiable, sometimes it's not. But I see change and good changes. But I'm still using my trying to understand or try to explain or try to understand why
you and Duke are the same, cut out the same fabric. You need to understand. You need to be sure you're on the right track.
So I just doing it, and then maybe when one day the wisdom come, and maybe I can understand.
You can let go. Huh? You can let go. But it's a lifelong reflex. Okay, and that's your makeup. That's how you function. Eventually you can let go.
So
because someday you realize it's hampering you. It's not helping. It's useless.
Yeah, it's I'm just
doesn't help. Doesn't help anything. Because either you understand or you don't. You understand, that's it. You can't sit there and say, oh, once you understand, they can sit there and you can write down the proof for that.
But still,
but you have to understand first. You cannot deduce it. You deduce it, then it's no good.
The deduction is only for the people who don't understand. You see, I need to deduce it for all of you. Because you don't believe me. So I need to speak in language you understand, using deduction. But for me, before I can do that, I need to understand it first. I did not get there by deduction. So what I do is I help you understand to calm your intellectual first, intellectual needs. Thank you. But it's designed to help you, bring you to the point where you can let go and not try to understand, because you cannot possibly understand, and you cannot get there through intellectual understanding. If you can let go of intellectual understanding, but first the need to intellectually grasp it, okay, then you can get there a lot faster. It's nothing to understand. Nothing. Once you understand, it's nothing. It's a Dharma door of emptiness. Think about it, folks. This is a Dharma door of emptiness. Right now, I need words. I need things for you to be comfortable with, for you as guidelines. But to guide you to the point where there's nothing there, nothing to understand, nothing to show for. That is Mahayana. Nothing. How do you know you're on the right track? How do you know you're on the right track?
That was the reason why I was trying to understand, because I don't know, so if I understand, then I kind of know I'm doing okay or not. So it's just a catch point.
How do you know? Yeah, it's a catch point. That's what Luke is stuck big time with. He says, I can't, I'm not comfortable with cultivation unless I understand what I'm getting into.
Don't ask, just do it.
That's right.
Continue.
Just do it.
In other words, what does it say? What does it say?
I heard like hell.
What is he actually saying?
You just.
What is he or Mel or you are actually saying?
Show me to the other side.
I don't believe you.
Yeah, faith.
I don't believe you.
Faith. Yeah, faith.
Right? That's the bottom line. I don't believe you. Right? Who are you?
No, I don't have that second question, but the first question.
Well, yeah, you don't have to be that personal. I can. Who are you? What do you know? How come? Okay, I don't believe you. Okay, that's what the problem is. I don't believe you. Okay, and that's what Danny struggled with for a long, long time. That wishy-washy guy, he came here, and and he may be wishy-washy, but his worst problem is that he does not believe. So every week he sent me an email saying, "Hey Master, what about this nun here? She has a website. Look at her picture. Oh, nice picture. Look at her temple, huge temple. Oh, what about Hankar? Oh, what about another? Oh, what about it's like that. It hasn't stopped yet. You know that? She sent me another email about Dalai Lama. They show a YouTube of the most famous, the most well-known Tibetan monks. Okay, and it's a rarity. And guess what? A few months ago, what did I say? Last year, what did I say? I'm not impressed with that stuff. I tell anyone, I'm not impressed. I have yet to be impressed by any Tibetan monk. Or none. Okay? So there he goes. After all his wisdom he learned from me, he sent me an email about Tibetan monks again. Anyway, people have a hard time. They have these reference points they need to undo. And so he struggled with that. That's why instead of struggling and sitting there and wondering about whether it's the right thing, whether it's the right thing for me, whether it's beneficial for me, what did Janice and Jimmy do?
Just did it.
Just awesome. And what did they do?
more the pain. They are by far have the best foundation of any of you.
They do.
Yes.
They do.
Any of you. Jimmy isn't better than Janice.
He does 4 hours. Jimmy.
How do you think he reached fourth dhyana in how many months now? Less than 4 months. How is it possible? Huh? How is it possible? I couldn't do it. None of you could do it. None of you.
None of us could.
None of you could do it.
That's right.
I think he's double jointed.
How can I do it? So because he practiced it a lot, he did the most critical one, crossing the legs and bear the pain. That's all. You know, he sits there 2 hours in the morning. He died. He nearly died the first few weeks. And then 2 more hours in the afternoon. Think about the test. How crazy the boy is. Why is that? Because his wife.
He's just determined.
Because his wife did it. Last year, his wife did it in the assembly. Everyone said, "Oh, Master, you're so cruel. She can't take it unbundle." I said, "No, you keep your legs crossed. Not that cruel. I'm cruel. What can I say? Okay?
That's true.
That's their foundation. The Chandama. Not your principles and all those, the head, the heat, all those are secondary. They're nothing. They cannot replace crossing your legs and bearing the leg pains. It surpasses Shravana mantra, surpasses anything. Because any of those dogmas, without that foundation, you will not be able to go very far. You will not be able. You see, I teach the fundamentals, their foundation. You see why this guy will know how much he knew and how much he read. Without doing it, you're not going to do it. The first year, he said the same thing. Oh, I do it half lotus because until I can't take it anymore. Because I have to work. Because. Okay? See, you guys skipped on the essential framework of crossing your legs, bearing. That's it. This is what his goal disciples, his honey disciples, don't even understand. Who am I to tell you that? Because I see them. They don't understand it yet. Okay? Any questions? All right. So we're 4 o'clock as usual, so good time to close it. Hang in there if you can, because when we
sure.
But you have a lot of people who are who went through what you're going through right now, so you can talk to them, and they can probably tell you more about their experiences. Because I'm a slave driver, and never have to. Okay, let's do transference.
Remember, folks, when you cultivate pain and discomfort, it's good for your soul.
That evil laugh.
It's also good for Master Bhagavan.
Yeah. Makes you feel good.
May these merits and virtues adorn the Buddha's dear land, repaying the 4 kinds of kindness above, aiding the 3 evil paths below. May those who see and hear all bring forth the holy mind. And when this retribution body is done, be you're born in the land of